Anusha, you're turning 35, and as a birthday present to yourself, you decided to freeze your eggs. Why was it important for you to undergo this procedure?
I want to have a family. It's as simple as that. I've always wanted to have a family. Let me give you a little backstory. I grew up a single child raised by a single parent. So even though I had a lot of cousins, love was never lacking of. But it's different to go home and then you got nobody to bully, and I see my cousins, yeah, they're fighting, but obviously it's love, right?
Right.
So from a very young age, I knew that I wanted to have my own family. And time just went by. I enjoyed my life. Every step of my journey in my life so far, I have really, truly enjoyed my career, the friends I have, and suddenly one day I just realized, oh my gosh, I think maybe I've enjoyed it too much and neglected another side of life. And that's when I said, I think it's time that I do something for myself.
What was it though? Did you see your friends start having kids and stuff that triggered it?
Oh, definitely. It's like on the list is less single and more married with children. And
more
then they
extras.
Exactly. And they start hanging out with more parents because their children need to have play dates and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then your time with them gets less and less and less, which is all right, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's like, oh, wow, how old are you again? Maybe I
Right.
should think about this again,
So this is not something obviously you'd do in haste, right? How much research did you do prior to making this decision?
Very honestly, not much research. I did I did research about IVF many years ago, like 10 years ago when it just started. Obviously, the stories were very few and far between. And then, hearing with social media, you hear and see more success stories. Never really thought about freezing my eggs because I never knew that was a process that you can do. Like, just stop there. You don't need to carry on for now until you're ready. It's actually the same process as doing an IVF, stimulating, getting the eggs, retrieving, and then it's just frozen. It's not inseminated or becomes an embryo, right?
It's in storage. They're in storage. Your babies are in storage.
Exactly. Okay. So recently, I do this for myself every year to remember my growth and my journey. So every birthday, I make sure it's something memorable, an event or something like that, so that I checkpoint. So 30, this is what happened. 31, this is what happened. And last year I skydived and I'm like, wow, done. Thank God, before the pandemic and the world shut down, right?
Yeah.
And then this year, 35, I think it was just so timely. I said, what do I want for myself? I just don't want to just have a party, drink, and then forget about it tomorrow. So I really wanted to make it memorable. And then this is fate. I don't know if you believe in that for you. And a couple of years ago, I realized that a cousin of mine was working in a fertility center. So something popped up and I just reached out to her. And then she just gave me the lowdown, step by step, and educated me about it. And the next day I set an appointment and I'm on my journey. Wow. It was that quick.
All right.
How quick was it? Like from your cousin talking about it to sort of,
1 week before the 2 weeks before my birthday, 1 week later, I did an appointment. And then it's a journey, right? It's a process that you have to wait for your body to be ready. It was done. And I believe this, like when things are meant for you, they really happen quickly. And when they're not meant for you, there will be things that come in the way that stop you from getting there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just not the right time. Doesn't mean it's not right for you. And this is a true testament of that. Things happen one step at a time, but so timely and so quickly. And I'm like, I guess there's no turning back.
Yeah, let's just do it, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you the only one of your friends who's doing this?
I am the first. Oh, no, actually. After I made the decision, I posted it up on my social media, and then a few friends reached out, and one of my close friends I didn't realize was actually going through the same process.
Oh,
And
Oh, wow.
she's like, wow, in her late 30s, she's 38, maybe 39, but she's doing it because the doctor advised her to do it because she has cysts and so on. So it's
Right.
more of
Right.
a health thing. And same thing, same goal. She still wants to have a family of her own, you know, man or not, she's there.
Right.
Awesome.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
Right.
So let's talk about the sort of the other side of all of this, which is the
Yes.
cost of
Oh,
this to you. How
Mhm.
much is this going to cost you? Ballpark figure.
okay. So I obviously I was so blessed to have been able to go to one of the best facilities in the country. And I also think it's a standard price. For one cycle, it costs between 18 to 20,000.
Okay. Sorry. What is one
What
cycle?
what do you mean by one cycle?
Okay, so one cycle meaning every month we produce eggs in our ovaries, right? And then when those eggs are done, we have our menses, and
Yep.
then it comes down if it's not fertilized, and then you go through another cycle.
Yep.
So every month, according with your menses and your period, those are new fresh eggs that are coming out, but produced by your ovaries, and then they go out. So every cycle is which means in order to stimulate and to get the best eggs, you need to work on the eggs that you have within that month.
Okay.
So if it's done and you didn't have enough or they're not strong enough, then you got to wait for your next period cycle to do the procedure again.
Okay.
Right. So 18 to 20 grand
Each cycle.
ringgit each cycle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And right. Okay. So I suppose I'd love to know, I'm sure many people would as well. What part of all of this, the decision, the actual procedure and post procedures has been the most challenging for you? Be it in beliefs, physically, mentally?
Okay. So I have yet to start the self injections, but I think that would be the hardest because you are stimulating your body. We're females, full of estrogen, and
Yeah.
I think people can attest to this. Every time it's our cycle time, we get emotional and things like that. So imagine me getting stimulated, being injected with medication that enhances these feelings and the process. So I think that's going to be hard. I'm grateful that I live alone and I don't have to bother anybody.
Right.
But I think emotionally, that's going to take a toll on me. Yes.
Have you put any coping strategies or things in place for when this happens, knowing that, when the hormones go whack, it does affect you?
Ice cream.
Ice cream is your strategy.
Really?
Ice cream.
Okay, it looks like you've done a lot of research into that as well.
Right. But if you don't mind me asking, so how does this work? That when you have to go to the hospital or the fertility clinic to get injected, and then after that you just go home and hope for the best, or?
Okay, so let me tell you the step by step.
Yeah.
So first they need to scan your body. They do an abdominal scan and vaginal scan to make sure you are your uterus, your womb, and the sac where the babies will be, everything's intact
Viable.
and good. Yes, correct. And then they will do a blood test to see if you have any diseases, anything like that, which we cannot proceed with the procedure.
Right.
And then what did I do? And then when it's time for cycle, they give you self injections. It's like
When you say self injections, mean you do it yourself?
Yeah, you can do it yourself, or if you're not strong enough to do it yourself,
right,
you can go to the clinic and they will do it for you. But it's it's quite simple. Like you just take the fatty part of your tummy,
okay,
and then you set the dose on the pen. It's like an insulin pen.
Okay.
And then you
an
inject.
EpiPen. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, similar to that.
Right.
I think it's longer, the needle.
Yeah.
Right. And then you just do that regularly every day for in total 12 to 14 days. And then hopefully the eggs are ready and mature enough. And then they will set a retrieval day, which you will probably go on like a general anesthetic, go down, and then they will retrieve the eggs.
Right.
And when they do retrieve the eggs, what I just found out is that, so just say like this month I have 17 eggs that they can see.
Okay.
Right. When they retrieve the eggs, not all it's not really eggs. Not all the follicles that they see have an egg inside.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Some
okay,
of them
right.
may just be water inside.
Okay.
So if it's just water, then that you have
It
to
can't be
discard
used.
that.
Right.
Yes. So if they do see a follicle and a strong egg, that's what they will keep, and then that's what they will store and freeze.
I
So
see.
if I have 17, God willing, 17 are great with eggs.
Okay.
If not, maybe only 10 would be viable enough
Okay.
to freeze.
We're
Yes.
going to speak to the doctor to find out exactly the percentages and stuff like this as well, all
Yes.
right? But it's very fascinating. But you have mentally prepared for all that. And
I have.
did you talk to your family about this? Did you have to convince that this is what you want to do? And,
I think in general, I've been very blessed to have a supporting family, father, and then, extended family, cousins, aunts, and uncles. Obviously, the generation that I'm in, my cousins, they're
Yep,
more
yep.
like, oh, okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Nothing new.
So it's
But the
because
old,
that's how the woke kids are doing it, right?
exactly, yes.
Right.
But however, like for me, to be honest, I didn't need an approval. I was raised to be independent and to make sure I make the right decisions for myself, but
Right.
know there are consequences anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, but I wanted an approval from my father. And so one day I was like, okay, I took him out. We went to the mama, right? And I said, okay, I know what I want for my birthday. Oh, what do you want? And I was like, I'm going to do this. And he went, what? He had a disgusted face. And
Did you
"What?"
like before you took him out to breakfast? Does that happen on a regular basis? Do you basically go like, let's go for breakfast, and then he goes like, this never happens. What's going on here?
No. I see him once or twice a week, right? So
Right.
it's a normal thing.
Okay,
but just
okay.
for me to tell him that, it was like, I don't think he expected it, for one. Two, it was like, huh? Being his age, I'm not sure if it's something that you would talk about.
Right.
Unless somebody is going
How
through the
old is
process.
he roughly, your dad?
He's 64 this year.
Right. So to talk about freezing eggs is just not something that is
It's
something
normal
that
for him.
Right.
Exactly. But so at first he was like, then you sure why? First thing is like, how much is it going to cost?
Right, the typical dad, right?
And I had to like, it's this amount, but I was going to do this with this anyway. So I had to explain and rationalize with him, so
Right.
he understood. But then a few days later we spoke about it again, and he was like, is it safe? And if it's safe, that's the most important. And do what you want to do.
I don't think it's about approval. It's more like blessing.
Yes, I like that word. Yeah.
Right.
It's more of like, so I think.
Because you're a 35-year-old woman, or
Exactly.
you can do whatever you want with your life, but you still want your parents to go up.
And my money.
Yeah, you want them to go. We have your back in a way, right?
Yes, because I want them to be as much involved in this journey as I would I am with myself, right? Because life is all about making memories, and I don't want to have a bitter taste or a memory throughout this journey. And so far, it's just been amazing. And when I decided to do it, I said I cannot do this for myself selfishly. I want to be able to educate or create awareness. And if my story can be shared with one person and they're inspired by it, my job is done.
Right.
That's brilliant. That's so cool.
So family's done. So family's convinced already.
Have you thought about the conversation you'd have with your future partner? Like, what would that look like?
So I think I'm a very open person. Whoever knows me, yes. No. Whoever knows me knows what I believe in. And nowadays, with social media, you post about something everybody knows. People you actually didn't even think would know.
Right.
And, so I'm hoping that putting myself out there like this, I would have filtered all the unwanted ones out of the way.
That's a very smart strategy, Anusha. It's like, okay, you're going to only attract the ones that actually think you're fabulous.
Right.
Absolutely. It's even to a point like, last time I used to be afraid of meeting somebody. And when you talk about life, right, you're like, oh, I don't want to have children. I used to be afraid to voice out that I want to have children. Right. So now it's like, it's already filtered. Whoever that's at the door or whoever it's meant to be, I want to have children. Whether we want to have children in this process or naturally, that's a conversation we will have, right? But I don't want to make that decision on my own, and I don't think it's fair. So, this is it. I have eggs, by the way, guys.
Yeah, but
I
does that work on a first date? Are you currently seeing someone right now, or are you?
I'm not.
Right.
But okay, so I'm also at a stage in my life. I'm not going to say age. I'm going to say at a stage in my life where I don't want to play games.
Right.
Yeah.
If I find somebody, we're dating to get to know each other for marriage and till death do us part. Right. I don't want anything else in between. Seen that, been in that industry, high buys and sometimes held on for too long, and it's not worth it.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm still wondering, like, let's just say we go out on a date. Let's just say, right? And then I'm like, so what are you up to these days? And I'm like, oh, nothing, freezing my eggs. Is that like a first conversation kind of thing? Or
I don't think it will be a first, like, oh, what, maybe I'll tell them, oh, I'm good. I'm just trying to find a work-life balance and trying to prioritize my personal goals,
And
oh,
by
what
the
are
way,
personal goals? And by the way, this is what.
Right.
Okay, so you wouldn't start with it, but you'd follow through with it or follow up with it.
That's
Nice.
Good
Okay.
strategy though, yeah.
You're setting this up in preparation of scenarios that may happen in the future that you want. Would you ever consider having a kid on your own?
I definitely would. Without a doubt. Obviously, the first choice would be to have a kid on my own. Whenever that time is. And if it's risky health-wise, then I have an option. I even thought this year, to be very frank with you, even before I made this egg freezing journey possible, I was going to adopt.
Oh, okay, right.
I was going to start an adoption process. I made this decision last year. And I said, 35, okay, at least I work really hard for the next 20 years. I can send my child to college. Great, right? You have to think like that in some way or not. I don't want to be 60, 65 years old and still.
Yeah.
Right? So I thought about that. However, opportunities come, and then I realized, I have a really great opportunity at a job that I really like. Mm-hmm. I want to give them my time and work on new things in developing my skills and my career. If I have a child, I'm going to be torn between both. And I cannot do that, So I said, okay, maybe the adoption can pause for a little bit. I do this. There's a few options, I really managing my risks well.
I like that.
You've considered a lot, yeah.
You got different paths to go down. I like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So, in 5 years' time, when I'm really like, oh my gosh, I can't believe career has taken me this far and I'm still single and don't know what's going to happen, I'll pull out whichever card that I think is most relevant at that time.
Okay. But because you have eggs readily stored, do you have like, how does that work anyway? Like, do you get to pick who gets to, that egg? How does that work?
Well, I think they see the quality of the egg. So once I've frozen my eggs, I can keep them there for however long I want to. And then when I decide to have a child, for instance, when I get married and have a partner, they will get his sperm, and then they will find the most viable egg, and they will inseminate. They will put together in a petri dish and becomes an embryo. And if it's a healthy embryo, they will inseminate that back into my body.
So they thaw it out the egg. Basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But what if it's on your own though? If you're gonna do this on your own, I mean,
get pregnant naturally.
No, I mean like if you're gonna choose a partner. I mean like who's gonna be the one to. The egg.
Some friends did ask me, because the clinic also has an option for donors, and you don't need to know who they are. I'm not that kind of person. I want to know where this sperm is coming from.
Right.
So, I did think about it, and like maybe when I get there and I'm ready, I might go and ask some of my friends who's willing to. At least I know what they are.
How tall are you?
Donations.
Yeah. You're 6 feet tall, pretty good genes and everything, good skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the one. Okay.
Does your family hereditary? Do you have anything like that?
Yeah, I was actually wondering
my-
about that. Yeah. How
I
are
can
you
just
gonna pick
imagine
and choose?
Anusha walking around with a clipboard, right? Meeting, it's, you know, speed dating. No, it's speed interviewing. Yeah,
Yeah, you got that. Yeah.
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 It's funny. I actually made a joke to some of my friends before, and I said, when it comes this time, I may want to ask for a favor for this, but we don't have to talk about it now. I'll reach out to you when it's ready. And then they started
Now that
laughing
they
about
hear
it. And then,
this in chat, though, they're gonna go, "Oh my god, that's what she
The
said."
cat is out the bag, babe. The cat is out the bag.
I mean, I ain't got no time for games.
That's true, though. Yeah.
Well, at least they'll know to get yes or no ready.
Yeah.
Right. So
Exactly.
I guess the next question would be, would you recommend other women to do this procedure as well?
I would definitely recommend other women. I know so many who are like me, who are career driven, just haven't found the right one and don't want to rush into it because their clock is ticking, So, and I'm not even saying that, in a negative connotation, because there are success stories, and I know many people who are in their early 40s and get pregnant, healthy baby, I think it's what's meant for you. But as soon as I made the decision, I only can speak from it personally, right? As soon as I made the decision, there was like a whole burden lifted off my shoulder in terms of finding for someone. And I think that person will come better, easier, because I'm not putting that pressure on them.
Right.
Yeah.
And that wonderful feeling of, that burden lifted off your shoulders also tells you you've made the right decision for you right now.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
also very peaceful giving, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. It's not like in the back of my head, as much as I want to go far in my career, it's still there. I'm still carrying it with me. Now I'm done with, when I'm done with this process, I'll be like, okay, see you in a couple of years,
So last question, do you have any plants?
One.
Is it alive?
Yes.
Then I think you'd be a great mother. They say that if you, I know, I can keep weeds alive.
You can't base it on. Asha is horrible
Weeds are
with
plant too,
plants.
technically.
Listen, as a single mom, that's what people used to joke with me all the time. Do you have any plants?
Really?
I'm like, yeah, I do. Are they alive? I'm like, not really. I'm a bit of a black thumb. They're like, it will help, all
Good
the
luck.
gods help your child,
Yeah, but her son is great, the super tall kid, so
He's amazing.
he's fine.
Yeah.
So don't worry about the plants.
I was just
How
joking,
old is
by
your
the way.
son, Asha?
He's turning 14 in a couple of weeks.
Wow. Great age, though.
And he's 6 feet tall, for crying out loud.
Yeah. I think
Oh.
the best thing there is that he's actually a really good cook. So that's very helpful.
That's why you keep him around.
That's why I keep him around.
Good
Yeah.
Lord. Oh my
It's like, honey, I really feel like this. Okay, I'll make you something. Do you want caramelized onions?
So sweet. Oh my gosh. See, you're talking about that and my hair standing.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
that's the emotion that I want to have in that relationship with my child and children, and I don't
Well,
think
I'm a
any
single
amount of
mama.
money-
So I'm a single mama. So, if you really want that baby, if that baby's calling you, from me to you, go for it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.